Performing your inspection. When performing your inspection, determine the area to be inspected. The schedule for inspection may be posted on the safety bulletin board in your facility. If not, determine your inspection area based on the requirements noted here. Monthly, ensure all high-risk areas are inspected. Academic classrooms and other rooms, such as office spaces and libraries, may be inspected in rotation based on school size. Where your facility has 20 or more classrooms, the frequency of classroom inspection is every 3 months. Where your facility has 11 to 19 classrooms, the frequency of classroom inspection is every 2 months. Where your facility has 0 to 10 classrooms, every month you must inspect the entire facility. High-risk areas include such areas as gym storage, technology classes, art rooms, science rooms, storage rooms, janitorial closets, and mechanical rooms. Each of these areas in your facility must be inspected every month. When performing your inspection, keep to an inspection route so that you don't miss an area. You should normally just need to pop into an area for a few minutes to take note of any safety hazards. However, you may need to spend a bit more time in problem or high-risk areas. Where work is being completed, observe equipment and activities being performed, but do not operate the equipment yourself. Have a qualified person operate it for you. Employ your senses to detect hazards. If something doesn't feel, sound, smell, or look right, make a note of it. Look carefully at each potential hazard. Describe and locate each hazard. If there is an immediate hazard to someone's safety, take action before you leave. Address or resolve the hazard if you can. Make the staff member in the area aware of the hazard. Contact the custodian to address the hazard. Advise your principal or contact your Joint Health and Safety Committee worker representative. Where you are able, recommend corrective actions that could be taken to resolve the hazard. Don't just identify the hazard. Let us know what you suggest to fix it. Performing your inspection. When performing your inspection, the checklist provided to you on Google Forms will help guide you to the types of hazards you may anticipate seeing. It will not be totally inclusive of everything you may identify, though. Try using these suggestions to follow the same sequence each time in order to develop a habit of inspecting each space in the same way. Look left to right and from the top down. Start at the ceiling. Check out the lighting, fixtures, ceiling tiles, objects that could fall, evidence of leaks or rodents, objects stored too close to the ceiling. Then look at the walls, equipment, and furniture. As a general rule, combustibles should not exceed 20% of wall covering. Look for the presence of ground pins on equipment, proper emergency signage on the wall, access to fire pull stations and fire extinguishers, properly illuminated exit signs, a functioning PA system. Are ladders and step stools available to reach high items? Are high items stored safely? What about electrical outlets? Are they in good condition? Check for damage to any known asbestos. Are access and egress pathways clear? Identify any ergonomic concerns. And look at maps and projection equipment to see how they are secured. Next, move your eye to the floor. Are there slip or trip hazards, clutter, cords, blocked access or egress, clear access to emergency devices, carpets or tiles in poor condition? You may also need to take a look at high energy processes. Is equipment and moving parts properly guarded? Are staff exposed to hazards? Are proper shutoffs available and accessible in an emergency? Lastly, consider processes. Is there a safe procedure for how to do the task in question? Do staff have training? Are there policies and procedures or equipment that are needed to ensure staff do things safely? Try to look at all workplace elements when performing your inspection. Be mindful of the TEMP, T-E-M-P-P. Consider tasks. How are they completed safely? The environment, the safety of both the physical and built environment for our staff. What about materials? Are the materials and tools used safely? Are they the right tools for the job? Also, people. Do the people have the training and knowledge needed? Consider work habits, experience, and ergonomics in assessing their safety. And lastly, consider programs. This includes documentation, postings, training, policies and procedures, communications with staff, things like fire and emergency planning or your WMIS training, bulletin boards for health and safety would fall into the programs element. Once your inspection is submitted, the principal is required to follow up in writing within 21 days. They will do so by responding within the eBase program and assigning actions to be taken on each item you have identified. If the principal determines that no action is required, they are required in eBase to indicate why they believe such. Further follow-up may be required and should be noted on the response. Lastly, you'll want to follow up. Once corrective measures are implemented, be sure to review for effectiveness of the control measures over a specific time. Sometimes the action taken to resolve one hazard can mistakenly lead to or highlight another hazard.